Hey guys, how's it going? This is going to be a quick introduction and explanation of the full operating system of the 4th Battalion, 39th Infantry Arma 2 group. Basically, I want to go over three primary things. One is the applicant period and exactly what you need to do to become a member. Two is the MOS system and exactly what correlates to having an MOS and the trainings and all those things and why we do that, so everyone can get that pretty clear. And the third one is the overall ranking system and also the long-standing member system and some of the different seniority things that we have in the group, just so we can level the playing field and make sure everyone's on the same page as to why each one of these things are the way they are and exactly what they include. So we'll start off by becoming a member in the 439th. A lot of people are kind of confused as to why they either haven't become a member or how to become a member. Basically, what you'll see when you first come in is you'll see the looking to join right here, and it's basically me explaining all you got to do is just fill out an application. It's going to take me a little while to respond, but after a little while of playing with us, which usually ends up being 2 weeks, me and the officers will review you, and after that we'll decide if you're member material or not. Basically, what you need to do rather to become a member is show up to the games. And I know that sounds really foolish, but that's the primary part. The other parts are don't encumber the group, which means don't slow the group down, don't get people killed, you know, follow orders in that sense. Be a team player. And if you're not a team player, if you don't work well with the group, or if the people that you're fighting with don't really care to work with you for whatever reason, we'll look into that kind of stuff and figure out exactly what's going on. And it's that kind of stuff that we look for in the negative aspect. We don't want people who would encumber the group. We don't want people who will just become part of the group one day and won't show up for the next like month and a half. And that's exactly why we have a 2-week applicant period, is because we don't want just anyone to come in and say they're part of the group and then not show up for the next 5 or 6 months. And primarily those are the major things, is you got to show up to the games, make sure that you're an active member, show that you really mean that you want to be part of this group, and work well with the group, and you're pretty much in. And after you become a member, the ranking system as well as the MOS system becomes extraordinarily available too. Ranks basically show seniority on the forums. Like if we go to Foxtrot here, I'm sure he won't mind, we can see he's still PV2. He's only been a part of us for a little over a month, almost a month now, I think, if we scroll down and see when he's been accepted. He was accepted the 16th of December, and he put in his applicant, I think December 1st, so he was actually an applicant for 2 weeks, which is pretty common. That's actually a pretty short applicant stage. What I mean to say is after you become a member, the MOS system is what really becomes available to you. We'll get into the ranking system in just a moment, but I wanted to clear that up about the applicant stage. So now let's scroll down to the MOS system here. This is something that a lot of people have been pretty confused about, and I personally apologize right now for not holding up to a lot of people's request for an MOS application. What people will do is, if you want to, first off, let's get into what an MOS is. Sorry, I need to go back to that page. An MOS is essentially whatever job you do in our official games. Official games being games that are primarily hosted for the entire group to participate in. Not to be confused with like small games which will hold like a day in the life type things, or a day in Delta that Kicker's hooked up, or some different for fun kind of games that we play like all the time. Official games is where we put our game faces on. We take it extremely serious. We work together as a group. We'll use Ace Acre, and recently we've had the Liberation of Lingor campaign. That's a nice example of an official game, and so far things go pretty smoothly whenever we have those. But people's MOSs are generally whatever job you do, whether it's airborne, armored, special forces, infantry, close air support, whether it's fixed wing or rotor wing like a helicopter, so on and so forth. And but you can train for these things by simply going to the home page and scrolling all the way to the bottom, and you'll see training or request training in MOS and MOS applications. Now the difference being is we have several trainings available for people if you just want to up your seniority in the group by participating in training. If you're a new member and you really want to prove that you give a crap about the group and that you really want to be part of it, you can come over here and request a couple trainings. You can also look at our training, if I can find it here, apologies. Available training courses. It's sticky, I didn't really pay attention. And we've got different things in here like close air support fixed wing, close air support rotor. We've got standard operating procedures in military operations in urban terrain, MOUT. Special forces training is pretty much restricted to people who are selected to be special forces by officers or admins. Long range marksmanship, stealth and scouting, and a plethora of other things that you can train for. Now, these things don't necessarily guarantee an MOS. For example, we have quite a few people in airborne, and I think we're going to be cutting back on that a little bit to try and get some more people into our standard infantry or Arma division or other things like that, but it may not work out that way. It's just a thought. But that's an example of things that you can do if you just want the training and you don't want to have to necessarily be restricted to one specific job. And also, now that I've explained basically what the MOSs are and the rankings, not the ranking, but the training system, you can have more than one MOS. Definitely. It's not unheard of for people to have 2 or 3 different MOSs. Kicker is a great example. I am a great example since I'm the admin. I can pretty much do anything. But Kicker is a pretty good example because he's special forces, he's close air support, he's also done some training for rotor wing and fixed wing, and I'm pretty sure he's done some stuff for airborne as well, but he's also a long-standing member. So that puts him available instantaneously past anything that would require standard operating procedures and MOUT, because he's played with us for quite a long time. That's before the forums were even created. So things like that are they're pretty useful, but honestly he doesn't do a whole lot with the special forces even though he's trained for it. He usually just pilots for the guys. So you can do a number of different MOSs. Training for it only helps you in the long run, and it really puts you further into the group's eyes, because there's a lot of people who I'm very impressed with who've done quite a few trainings and requested even more. I've helped out in the group, and that's the kind of thing that we really look at to put you further in the group. All in all, an MOS is basically whatever job that you do in our official games, and that's pretty much what it comes down to. The trainings, I sincerely hope that they're useful for everyone. I've been told that they're extremely helpful and that they've helped a lot of people out in games, especially like other games that you may play like DayZ and other mods like I-44, things like that. They seem to help people out quite a bit, and I'm not the only trainer. And I do that, I make sure I'm not the only trainer just to make sure that if I am making mistakes, that other people can correct me on them. I am not perfect either. So, all in all, we take a lot of our stuff from Shack Tech, which is why the trainings seem to be pretty helpful. And it's something that I think would definitely benefit the group as a whole if members took advantage of this. And doing trainings and applying for MOSs will most definitely help you out in getting further in the group as far as ranking goes, and as far as being selected for better things in the future like close air support and special forces, and even becoming an officer, which will help you moderate in the forums. And overall, it's just a way to help us become more expansive as a whole. I wanted to explain those two things. A ranking system is basically it shows seniority. There's not really a whole lot more to it. If we go to our member list over here, we can see a whole bunch of different shades and colors and hues and things like that. The basic forum ranking system is guests, members, and moderators. And what it comes down to is light blue is guests, green is members, yellow is officers, and moderators are usually in deep blue like Nox and myself. The interior ranking system being like private first class, corporal, sergeant, things of that nature. that comes into how much you've done in the group. All of our officers are people who have contributed greatly to the group, are people who have been around for a very long time. A lot of our higher ranking people who have gone into like Master Sergeant or First Sergeant or Gunnery Sergeant or anything of that nature, they're people who have shown that they really do care about the group, that they're helpful in trainings like standard operating procedure. They help me train people, or they've offered to train people in different aspects like Sam and who was it? Whisper. Sam and Whisper used to train, and I think Sam still trains the airborne guys. Archangel has recently taken up training people for Arma Division because I'm not great in tank, and things of that nature. That's what helps us out as a group in a whole, and that's what will help you get a higher rank in the group, and also will help you develop. Well, all in all, it really comes down to the benefit of the group. When you do stuff like that, you're really helping us out as a whole, and that's just my way of showing our thanks. It's showing that you have contributed quite a bit to the group in total, as far as helping me out in training, or helping me out with setting up games, or participating in the group as a whole, and really that's what it comes down to. Our ranking system only goes up to Colonel because, well, I don't know, I guess it's what we decided. I can't even remember when we decided that, but me and Knox decided it was only going to go up to Colonel. So, if you're looking to show your worth in the group, I recommend just show up to as many games as you can. Help me out whenever you get the chance to in standard operating procedures and mount. That is, assuming that you've completed the course and you wish to show up to other courses. We often keep that kind of stuff posted on the calendars. So if you're looking to help me out in explaining people, or help me out with simply being there, helps out quite a bit, just because I'd have more people to demonstrate different tactics and things like that. I hope this whole explanation hasn't been too boring for you. I do hope that this has helped explain quite a bit of information regarding how we operate as a whole group, and how we operate with our trainings, our MOS system, and our games. And thank you for taking the time and interest in watching this video, and have a good day, guys. Happy gaming, and stay alert, stay alive.